So my recent video on Esther Hicks has been getting a lot of traction, and I'm grateful for all the new followers and all the comments, most of which have been supportive, some of which have been not supportive, but I'm grateful for those as well. This is actually a good example because it gives me a chance to clear up something. So at the beginning of that video, I say that I am comfortable calling this law of attraction stuff a cult, and I talk about how I put Esther Hicks in the cult section. That much is true, but there's a lot of context that I give to explain why I put it in the cult section, which is not context that I give in the video. If I am being intellectually honest and factual as much as possible, I do have to concede that this person has a point. The law of attraction stuff does not technically conform to all the aspects of a cult. I have a video on my feed that is called What is a Cult, with a lot of goes into a lot of detail, but in this video I just want to cite the cult researcher Stephen Hassan, who talks about the BITE model, which is behavior control, information control, thought control, and emotional control, basically various forms of control. By this definition, I have to concede that the law of attraction stuff is not technically a cult because there is not a very strong emphasis on information control, for example, and people are free to get their information from all kinds of sources. There is a kind of charismatic leader aspect in some cases, but it doesn't check all the boxes, let's just say. So I guess the bottom line is that I would clarify by saying that it's not technically a cult, but it has a strong culty vibe. It's kind of cult-like or cult-ish. Now, to be even fairer, there are certain religious scholars who recommend not using the term cult at all because it can be dehumanizing. It is very often used to just dismiss a religious group that one does not believe in. The more common alternative these days to the word cult is a new religious movement, or you might hear the term high demand group. So I think in this case it is more accurate to call it culty, but also even more accurate to say that the law of attraction stuff has a very strong religious vibe. It is explicitly a religious idea. In fact, the vibe that I often get is one of a sort of fundamentalist religious vibe. There's a lot of condescension that happens when you push back against it. They say often things like, you'll understand someday. It is a law, you just don't see it because you're uninformed or you're unenlightened or you're not spiritually advanced enough or whatever. So there's this kind of energy that I get from law of attraction people that I also get from, like, say, Christian fundamentalists. Finally, just to clarify that in my book, I do use the C word with, again, a lot of explanation. And the main reason I do that is because I find that even though the word cult can be dehumanizing, cults themselves can obviously be very dehumanizing and much worse. Having been in a cult myself, I can attest to that. And so I do have to admit that I have a certain very strong aversion to cults, or the very strong radar for anything that is culty. So again, I appreciate the chance, this comment and the chance to clear up this confusion. I will do better in the future to be a little bit more careful with my language.